Good morning. It is January the 10th, 2018. Time to kick off another trading day. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may under overcompensate for the impact of any of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Well, the big news overnight is China said they're going to put on hold or quit buying U.S. treasuries. And that news took a while to be absorbed by the market, but equities in Europe and the United States are down. Obviously, treasuries are. The dollar is down. And gold and crude are higher, as is the euro and the yen. So the fundamentals probably have changed, and I'll say probably because China comes out and makes these great big news announcements, then everybody looks for follow through. So again, this is a perfect example of headlines or news. Traders see it, they react, and they figure out if they want the position or not. But the one thing that they do immediately is they react. And I don't know exactly what time China made their announcement, but it looks like it was about 5:30 or so Eastern time that hit the markets, and it certainly has taken treasuries lower. Today is the 10-year auction. The market is hedged. When you looked at the play yesterday in options and in futures contract, it all went to the put side or the short futures side. So the big boys are buttoned up, and at some point that may become a factor. Usually on this type of news, the dynamics of the auction are set aside for a bit. So my guess is the first trade in treasuries is going to be a sell. We have some news today. Import prices up 0.4. Export prices up 0.3. Wholesale trade up 0.7. Atlanta business Fed inflation, don't know. Last month it was 2.1. It's probably the same. And crude inventories minus 3.9. Last night the APIs drew 11.9. Products once again built, with gasoline up 4.47 and distillates up 4.46. So they're drawing down crude inventories. That started in the month of December. That still is continuing. And they're building up product inventory. So the crude market today would like to see a draw greater than 3.9 and a build less than 4.7 and 4.6. First sells 27 to 31, 3 to 7. The buy side, think we're going a little bit lower. Don't think the bottom falls out. A lot of the move has taken place. And so we'll look at 17 to 21s for a buy and 9 to 13 for buy 2. The Chinese news will impact treasuries, and it won't be for just a day. It will continue. If history repeats itself. Nothing that the United States Fed or administration can say, we'll change that. Or let's put it this way, historically it hasn't. Don't never say never, right? It's damnedest game in the world right here. If somebody comes out and says this has never happened, it can happen. Okay, looking at the bond, first resistance 12 to 16, 19.23 sell 1, 27.31 sell 2. On the buy side, the buck to 04 is number 1, 25.29 buy 1, 17 to 21 buy 2. Always something different. Always, you know, that's the game, and something that you have to take in a new factor to consider. And you know, people will be scratching, like, oh God, I was going to do this, and I awakened to this news. What will I do now? So there'll be a lot of. I don't think anything's happened in treasuries. Treasuries were being sold. Equities. I don't think this changes anything in equities. The cryptocurrency world is undergoing what you would call sector rotation in stocks. Right now I happen to be the beneficiary because I'm in Ethereum. Litecoin and Bitcoin haven't moved overnight, and Ripple has gone all the way back and retraced all of its gains when it exploded up. So it's tough though. I don't really know how to efficiently work or trade. You can't do it from Coinbase. You got to take some of your money and put it into an exchange, which makes you subject to hacking and everything else, outright theft. So it's a tough call on what to do and how to manage it. I got another phone call last night from a friend, all excited, thinking about putting $10,000 into one of the cryptocurrencies. And I said, well, you might want to get started and get your feet wet, but I wouldn't put all of it in at once. So it's spreading. Everybody wants to be part of the action. Okay, gold, we had 25. 27 is potential resistance. You can see they got stops. Why do they do that? That's how they make their living. So 25.27 sell 1, 29.31 sell 2. On the buy side, the breakout came from 21. That's kind of been a swing point in the market. 19 to 21 has been will be buy 1, and then 14 to 16 buy 2. If anybody out there knows how to efficiently trade with limit buys and limit stops and have some confidence in the exchange or how you do it, please share that with me. Because Coinbase is pretty damn inefficient and expensive. Okay, the euro's up, the dollar is down. When you're long the euro, you're automatically short the dollar. When you're long the yen, you're automatically short the dollar if you live in a dollar-based economy. Okay, we're at 43. The high is 66. The idea that maybe the high or something was put in Globex. Sell 1, 50 to 60. Sell 2, 75 to 85, maybe a little higher. On the buy side, 25 to 35 will be buy 1, and the buck will be buy 2. What a difference a day makes, right? That'd be a great title for a song. Crude oil is higher. We talked about it yesterday, the attack on the Russian airfield and the Russian naval base in Syria. Supposedly a Saudi F-15 was shot down. Tensions are rising in the Middle East. $63 and a quarter, 63.36. We're at 57, so we'll make 63 even, maybe a little profit taking. 63 and a quarter by one. 62.50, 62.75 by two. 63.75, 64. Sell one. That would be new high, so the target would be 64, and you think about it. 64 and a quarter, 64.50, sell two. It's inventory day. Huge draw in the APIs. Gasoline built 4.7. Distillates 4.6. There's an article out last night that Venezuelan crude oil production is at all-time lows. The infrastructure is falling apart. All that equipment has to be maintained. Equipment wears out. Equipment breaks. They're not able to do that. They're not able to treat their oil fields. Halliburton said they had, I forget what the number was, but it was a big one, exposure in Venezuela for losses. Okay, the forecast today is for a draw on the EIA of 3.9 million barrels. So they'd like to see a bigger draw than that. And they'd like to see a build less than 4.7 and 4.6 in distillates and gasoline. We normally expect a 30 to 40 tick range before the news hits. And over the last three, part of it was affected by the holidays. Three inventory days we've had a pretty quiet. Haven't had big swings at all on the news release. So market might be settling down a little bit. The volatility is coming in. There's no doubt about it. Okay, can the Emini sell for a couple, 3, 4, 5 days? I think there was one period where we did sell for 5 days back in early fall or late summer. Equities are down, probably the U.S. equity market probably has more strength in it than our treasury market does right now. So more reasons to buy. Increased earnings per share, great economic growth, etc. So while I believe the first trade is a short, if we can't break the 30 to 35 area, we can go to the long side. Best short's going to be against 50. Why? 50 is a market number. First shorting opportunity is going to be in this 44, 46 area. 49.51 for sell 2. Last rotate up yesterday was 53. High volume number most recent in the market's memory is right here at 46, so limit sell against that. Down here a limit buy at 35. So that's about a 10-point range. So we've got a shot at, getting down and taking out 35 or testing that area. Definitely a B when you put these two together. Definitely a B right here. Definitely a B right here. We have our first buy at 35.37. Second buy at 30 to 32. News: import prices up 0.4. Export prices up 0.3. Not a factor. Atlanta business inflation probably about 2%. Not a factor. Wholesale inventories up 0.7. will play with the economists. It won't play with the market. I think technical factors, etc., are more of a consideration today, plus the Chinese news. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get everything up and published. Going to get busy with that. Back with you as soon as possible.